Actually, sometimes I read.
I know that one, no. Unless ni text unasoma, wewe najua usomangi baby. Like, siku ba, but ziwe.
Tafanya hatu adhani
usomangi baby. A lot of people, not just in this country, but all over the world, they spend their entire lives not even knowing what they want to do. Wherever you know, like, it's aeronautical engineering. There are people, even by the time they get to 60, 70, 80, even by the wakiwa kwa deathbed, like children are there, they're giving their will. They don't know what they wanted to do. But you know it's aeronautical engineering. You're still young, you have the energy, you have everything. So what is stopping you from like going ahead and doing it? Because me, I don't get it. Because probably I'm guessing even your boss is watching. So anashindwa kwani na kuchocha uende uresign job.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, remember to do the thing down there, comment section, subscription button, and all the rest.
What do you mean your channel? You said my channel.
I said my channel?
Yeah.
No, I said our channel.
Hey, wait. Unajaribu kudita hapa na sijui
manze. Yes, let me rectify that statement. Welcome back to our channel. Ebu, acha kwanza. Acha tu. Let's backpedal kidogo. No, nimesema my channel.
Nimesema my channel. Guys can go back and check. Nimesema my channel, my friend.
Welcome back to our channel. Poleni sana. I was trying something new na ni kama imeenda na ikaanua manguo na ikatembea nazo.
Now is not the time, but
nakwambia.
Now is not the time.
Yes, so
plus with the coup going on in Niger.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
So I'm feeling like could what I could never throw up. Like, and I thought we were like, 50-50 partners.
After me, I thought, my mind is doing some other things at the back.
I don't know. Subconsciously, you're thinking of doing that to me in the near future. Basically,
Ebu by the jipange and prepare so that ikifika hapo you're like, by the way,
red flags by the nishaanza kuona hapa. But anyway, it's alright.
Yeah, so welcome back, guys. This is our spot. You're, of course, hanging out with
the realest OG in the building.
And myself, Haron. It's been... It hasn't been a minute this time.
No, it hasn't been a minute.
It hasn't been a minute.
Let us not lie. It hasn't been a minute. Yeah.
So how long has it been?
I don't know, like 6 days.
Wait,
it was just last Saturday.
Last Saturday?
Yeah. So that's like 7 days. Okay, 7 days.
Wait, bana.
What do you mean?
Wait, bana. Kuna bado memories za kuchoma kitu, my friend.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening?
So it's been like 2-3 days. Okay,
exactly.
2-3 days. Yeah.
So how have you been?
I've been on the grind.
So much to do,
so little time.
I'm only trying to
get what's mine.
Exactly.
But anyway, I've been good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a nice week. As usual, I was just looking forward to when we meet up again and just do this. Because this has been sort of like a thrill for me. Like, you know that dopamine hit that you get when you like maybe here like your phone is there's a notification and then you want to go and check. So for me nowadays this podcast imekuwa like, hey, there's that dopamine hit that I get when we're tukichangamkia like an episode and whatever. So like nowadays Saturdays, like I'm looking forward to them like something else. So I am really, really glad to be here. And I'm grateful.
Hizo sentiments manze Tommy hata tutasema nini? Oh my goodness.
Baby.
No, I mean, baby guys, hata mpaka mimi because wait. Mimi hesabu zangu zinafika huko.
But I'm sure zako ziko even like higher than me. Like okay. But anyway, that's been me.
The level.
So how have you been?
It's been a tiresome week for me, of course.
Oh, really?
Up and down. But I think I also look forward to Bebe coming to record this sessions
so?
and just.
Because I think I'm the only one who looks forward to our sessions, Bebe, to be honest.
No, by the way, for me, the reason I really look up to it is because ukiangalia what I do as in outside of here, I wouldn't say that kuna any other area that challenges my thinking or challenges my thought process in the direction that this conversations challenge. I don't know if so for me ni kama unaona ile yenye umechapa gym mpaka sasa umezoea mpaka uko za leo kasi just kia couch. So now that's with the brain muscle. So that's, I think, for me now, that's what keeps me interested and just wanting to come and just also do a session and more or less that's how I've been.
That's nice, baby. So even before we get to the topic for the day, and I'm sure you guys have seen on the thumbnail there what we are going to talk about today. There's a comment I saw from someone, I think it was on the previous video that we posted. And then they were saying that we need okay, of course they were giving us like, thumbs up, you guys are doing great. So thank you by the thank you for the interaction. We really do appreciate it.
And looking forward to that day and actually topics zitakuwa zinatoka kwa hizo interactions.
Exactly.
By the at the back of my mind, that's what I'm seeing, that we will actually get to a point where now when you're just going through the comment section, you're just getting as much as in unaelewa kuna as in it's also a resource, just the comment section itself. So guys, kudos for everything you're doing down there. I think tutaanza ka portion kama honorable mentions because I've been seeing some deep people look
of course. So this one actually, because you've said honorable mentions, this one I feel as if I need to like mention even who. There's someone who gave that comment. They're called Samuel Ganjo. So they say that we we're doing a good job, but we need to think about how we can maybe incorporate like doing movie reviews, and series reviews, and then also book reviews. So for me, especially the one for movie reviews, I was like, okay, yes, this one makes sense. Also the one for the book reviews, because there are a few books that I would really love for us to like do reviews for here. I'm sure it will for you, especially because you don't read, you don't like reading.
Here's the thing.
It will be a challenge for you, but I'm that is part of the reason why I'm excited for that, because it will force you to either read that book or just go listen to that audio, because I know you're more of an audio guy.
Listening, of course.
But yes, like within that week you have to like listen to that full thing, and then when you come here, then we exchange notes and see. So I think maybe for the movie reviews, one of the movies that I'd like us to review, and it's The Matrix. I know it's an old movie. It was produced in 1999, but like I keep telling you, by the way, that movie, for me, that one is not even a movie. That is a documentary. By the way, it's something that just when you watch it, you're like, wow, okay. So it just enlightens you. It makes you think outside the box, and then you're like, okay. So for me, I'd like for us to do that sometime in the future. There's a series called The Last Dance featuring Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls.
And I'm sure that
one, baby. That one I'd like for us to actually review it, because it's an awesome series, baby. So much to learn from it, so much insight, and I'm sure even the guys, if they take the time to watch that series, they'd actually get it, like what I'm actually trying to say right now.
Quite interesting.
And a few other movies and series that
if there's any for me, it's not really a list, but kama ni review movies, ikifika time yangu tukishamalizana na The Matrix and all that, let's just do any of Christopher Nolan's movies, because that guy pia ukiangalia tu as in whenever you go through his movies, you end up as in so okay, he's very interesting to me. And we've had this conversation before. So hapa kuna ka
it will be very interesting to actually go through some of Chris's movies by the way. And I'm looking forward to those conversations. So for books, this one I know it's not your domain, but for me, books, there's a biography for Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. It's by Walter Isaacson. That one I'd like for us to do it because it's awesome. It just tells the history of Apple, like how they I know. So that one I'd like us to do it. There's then Shoe Dog is by Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, and I'm big on Nike, baby. Like just do it, afraid. Just do it afraid,
guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that one, these Outliers. I think Outliers, we're just going to touch a bit on it in this episode, and so many other books which I'm sure you've not read, you've not heard of. As we get into this part of this series in this podcast, you'll have to familiarize yourself with some of these books. So
vivyo vile una mention vitabu, mimi nitakumentionia documentaries na zile audible
ni sawa. Anza kuname drop hapa pia wewe. Unanichachanga ati mimi hapa mimi name drop every other time, like I'm name drop.
So let me tell you, here's my disadvantage. Okay, I don't know if it's a disadvantage, but for me, I will consume content, as in from whichever source
but not in literary form, like not in writing. It's in audio or visual,
or in
whichever.
Actually,
form,
sometimes I read because
I know that one. No, unless ni text unasoma wewe na Joe Somangi baby. Like siku ba but
tafanya watu wadhani
but actually wondering how you got through high school, campus, all those things, because I know
it's very
school, but I'm just wondering because
let me tell you, I will consume content, but sasa referencing for me is very difficult.
Okay.
Ati nikwambie, because nitakumentionia all the theories I know, and I'll be like, by the way, someone has said this, and there's research that has been done. But ikifika ati niseme there's research that was done by
but you know, I think when you do that, it gives even your speech or your whatever credibility. If you can actually be able to reference something in its exact form, then people are like, okay, say better na Jonia.
No, what I'll say is just Google search it if you think
I'm well and good. Touche basi. Let's move forward basi. So anyway, the topic for the day.
Kwisha maneno. Okay, so for today, guys, as of course, vile amesema, as it shows down there, we're talking about nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
The WOG mwenyewe. Utatuanzisha.
So I actually took time to go through the like technical definitions of nature versus nurture. So for nature, of course, like Google, Google. So nature basically nature is the basic or inherent features, character or qualities of something. It's more or less like what you're born with, what is in your DNA, like it's something that you as you come to this world you have. And then nurture is the action or process of nurturing someone or something. So more or less, that is not something that you're born with, but with time, through learning, through training, through personal development, you acquire the skills necessary. So nature is, more or less talent. Yes, it's innate. And then nurture, it's something that you work hard towards for you to acquire it.
And for our context, as far as now this conversation is concerned, that's what we are running.
Yes, that's what we are running as in nature versus nurture. Okay. So for you, I'd like to ask you. So for you, the far that you come, the far tunakuona hapa, what would you attribute your success? Because I'm assuming you're successful.
Success.
What would you attribute it to?
More or less, if it was just either of the two options, I would say it's leaning towards nurture, because a lot of the skills, a lot of the knowledge, a lot of the, as in everything I have is as a result of just acquiring knowledge, practicing and exploring further what needs to happen. But I wouldn't say that it is 100% nurture, because there are some aspects of me that are nature that are more or less innate that have enabled my nurturing engine. Let me say now my nurturing engine, that tuseme kama in probably I can say it's in my nature to be persistent in something. That's how I probably decided to go with IT. Okay, again, guys, of course know that
he's in IT.
Where?
We know that.
that I decided wacha nichukue IT, then I focused on it, finished, and I have been on that wagon. I believe now we're crossing ni miaka mingi. I don't want to age
watu wataanza kupiga mahesabu hapa anagonga 50 sahi
na vile watu hakwaki hesabu except time when una mention miaka kama ni 4 years square root ya but it's been a while for me, so it is mostly nurture. And I would say that for me it's mostly nurture. What about you?
Unanirushia kitu mbio hata utaki nimalize like even follow up questions like uko like okay, but I'm wondering, so it's mostly nurture.
It's mostly nurture.
So nature so for example umesema wewe you're an IT practitioner.
Yes.
So yes, whatever when uliingia campus, like that is exactly what you wanted to do?
No, it's not.
What did you want to
do? By
the
way, actually a funny thing is where again najiage nikishare hizi.
Okay, so don't mention
no,
like years
or names. Mention. I won't mention the year, but I know I'm aging myself by sharing this information. Before I joined campus, I had only gotten in as in nearly access a computer like 2 or 3 times.
Really?
One was when I was like in class 6, class 7.
Ingine ulikuwa unajaza pin ya KRA lazima ungeenda cyber.
Hata it wasn't even pin ya KRA. One time my dad came home and he was like, yes, in a computer this is how you play. So it was about 3 interactions. So by the time I was getting into as in a computer class, as in ilikuwa literally like now this is ilikuwa wakisema introduction to computers, that was literally introduction to computers for me. So IT wasn't as in
so what was your first love, if I may say so?
First love, yes, for me it was aeronautical engineering.
And then why didn't you do it?
Okay, I really was interested in doing aeronautical engineering. Nilimaliza shule, nilikuwa na grades. The grades are looking good.
Hakuna campus Kenya inaofa hiyo course.
No, actually there are a couple of universities, because I remember I even went to Wilson Airport. There's an institution there that offers. There are a couple of institutions that are offering it. But I went for the application. Nikaambiwa, so kijana, these are the requirements. The listing that was there, my friend, nilikuwa naangalia hizo figures and I was like, no.
So in terms of like the fees required for you to take that course?
It was too expensive. Okay. Not even just fees, just the requirements. Because they'll tell you, for you to join, you will require uniform, and they'll detail it out that you will require uniform, for each of this is how much it costs. Halafu kuna ka school fees hapo kando per semester. And it's trimester for them, so it's like, the math was
so that is what discouraged you from essentially what I would describe as following your passion, like aeronautical engineering.
That's what took me away from aeronautical engineering.
So IT was like just something you had to settle for because you couldn't get exactly what you wanted.
Yes, more or less.
So I'm trying to even in this conversation of nature versus nurture. So it's like aeronautical engineering, that was like like your passion. So
yes, that's
in some sense
what I really was.
Nature, like it's what innately inherently that is what you love, that is what you wanted to do. So even if you got into the field, you would have as in unge succeed to like build at a pressure mob, because like it's something you loved, as compared to IT, something you had to settle for because you could not get the other one.
More or less. Okay, to summarize vitu mingi hapo, but in summary, yes, even before I got to campus, I remember in Raima in primary school, I used to like draw. So na watu wakichora mamat and all that. For me,
ulikuwa unachora mandege. Sitikichora mat. Hata mat ni mbali sana. Sitikichora like maufala tu zingine zetu hapo ulikuwa unachora.
By the way, I would ningechora mamat, but I would also draw airplanes.
Wow.
So for me, as in actually from class 2.
Airbus.
Now you're getting it. Kenya Airways mpaka ako ka logo ka KA. By there I even knew what it looked like. So unajua vile watu walikuwa wanajua kuchora ogopa. So ya KA I would even but that's how it was for me. So nikaangalia and I was like, by that time I think I was mature enough to know that if I decide to take this approach, I might not even finish that journey. So let me be a bit realistic with life, of course. And
IT, but I feel as if IT got the wrong end of the nini, cause like it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't your first love. So like you're just there because you have to be there and you don't have a choice. I'm thinking if right now uko in IT, you've been in IT for like a few years, what is stopping you? Because I'm sure like uko na resources kadhaa, you have like the knowledge, the insight, the whatever. What is stopping you from actually going and doing aeronautical engineering? You're still young, I'm assuming. I've done the math kidogo in my head. I'm na guess bado ni mdogo. Mbona usiende kufanya hiyo stuff?
For me, it is more or less sahi ni a matter of opportunity cost for me, that I'm looking at how much energy would be required of me to change your compass. Unaona, now if we're talking about computer IT, let's say nafikiria computer science at the back of my mind, but if we're talking about computer science and aeronautical engineering, if we're saying that there are two ends of a compass for me now, how much energy would be required for that pointer to turn this other direction? And I'm like, no, niko sawa tu.
So like 10, 20, 30 years from now, you'd be okay with not following, like not making that decision right now. Because by the me, personally, I'm one of those people that believe, like if right now I feel that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, regardless of the cost that it will take me to take the other direction, I will do it. Like I'll do it as long as that is what I really want to do, then I'll go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter if I have to sell my kidneys and liver, as in I'll do it. Like I'll do it. And by the way, nami ushina nikikwambia hii saying, hii quote ya Mark Twain, like that's 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you did not do than the ones that you actually did. So for me personally, if, and I know like I'm sort of like imposing my will on you.
Actually, you're not, and it's very interesting that you're talking about it in that perspective.
But like if aeronautical engineering, because let me tell you, a lot of people, not just in this country but all over the world, they spend their entire lives not even knowing what they want to do. Wherever you know, like it's aeronautical engineering, there are people, even by the time they get to 60, 70, 80, even by the wakiwa kwa deathbed, like children are there, they're giving their will, they don't know what they wanted to do. But you know it's aeronautical engineering. You're still young, you have the energy, you have everything. So what is stopping you from like going ahead and doing it? Because me, I don't get it. Okay, and I'm sorry. Again, maybe I'm imposing.
You're not imposing.
But like if you can do it. And then I'm looking at computer, let me call it IT. Okay, so IT and even aeronautical engineering, they are more or less connected at the hip. So if that is what you wanted to do, and you're clear that is what you wanted to do, as in you have the time. Like achana na cost na whatever. As in, hiyo ni excuse unajipatia. But it's funny because me, I'm here. Like I am trying so hard to argue for me. But you on the other hand, you're trying so hard to argue against your dreams, ama your whatever it is that you want to do. Because acha ichukule hivi, like if you are in aeronautical engineering, that field, it's exactly what you wanted to do. You love it, it's your passion, whatever. So when you get into that field, like already you have that added advantage, if I may call it so. Because it's something that you love. Not unlike someone like from some rich family who was forced to do that course by their parents because their parents want, to say that my kid did that course. So for you, as you're getting to that field, you're already here, as opposed to someone who is here, who is forced to get into that field. Because this is passion. This gap is passion. You already love that thing. So, and of course, you won't be forced to do it. You'll just do it naturally. So by the time even this kid is getting to this level, you're already like here. You're in space. They are still on there. Wako tu wanajaribu like kufigure out how to get. Yes, exactly. So if you look ile direction ingine, IT, it's not what you actually wanted to do. I'm not saying you don't love it. I'm sure you love it. You've grown to love it. You enjoy it and whatever. But compare yourself with someone who from a young age wanted to do IT. Someone who was like, they grew up with computers. Mtuka Bill Gates, like they grew up with computers. All their lives in computers. By the time they were like 11 years old, they knew how to code. They knew how to write, whatever. So, by the time munaingia the same industry na yama, the same job na yeye ako huku, because already they have that advantage over you, because it's something that they love. They do it effortlessly. So for you have to like take time to adjust, to just love it, to acclimatize yourself to the profession. So for them, they're already here. Regardless of how hard you work. Yes, I personally believe you can work hard to get to their level, but for them, they have that.
They already have that.
The question is, why don't you do it? Why don't you go ahead and do that? Even if it's not right now. Because probably I'm guessing even your boss is watching, so anashindwa kwani na kushuku na kuchocha uende resign job uende ufanye like aeronautical engineer. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like just you don't have to like you don't have to do it like right now. You can say in like the next 5 years I want to be doing this course. So probably right now it could take time like to save up for the school fees, to save up for anything else that you might need during that time. And then plus you don't even have to quit your job. You can still do your job and still attend classes for whatever.
I am really trying to figure out a way I can answer you so that we try and get on the same page.
Keep it as simple as possible.
As simple as possible. Let me try and explain it visually. Tuseme if aeronautical was garden A and IT was garden B. So for me, by the time I was getting to that point where I needed to access either of the gardens, garden A is aeronautical engineering. I was being told, you will need 7 keys, and then there's a passcode that you will have that also has a guard who has a secret word before they let you in and all that. Then IT on this other end, nilikuwa naambiwa, okay, you'll need 7 keys. Here are the 7 keys. As in, unaona,
so IT was easier for you.
It wasn't.
You just took
easier.
the easier route.
It wasn't.
Because even from that analogy that you're giving me, that
relax. So as in even if accessing both of either of them was the same process, I opened the entry to that garden and realized it's a meadow. Unaelewa? As in ile beauty yenye iko huku ndani.
That is IT now.
Now that's IT. Okay. As in nika realize, okay, wait a minute, I did not
wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. So as in I went in and I was like, by the way, the beauty here is unmatched. That ilifika point, I was like, you know what, I'm actually okay with not opening that other gate. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense, by the way. I understand. Because like it like maybe because A was what you wanted to do, that is what your heart wanted. But because the doors did not open for that course.
It's not, but
okay, assuming. So now, assuming they didn't open for that door. So you're like, okay, so let me take option B. So when you open door to option B, you're like, okay, but I really love this thing. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So it's a discovery on its own. You're like, okay.
And the journey in itself, as in inafika mali, you're like, by the way,
maybe this is exactly what I was supposed to do. So I hear you.
I think, now we're on the same page. But I think it's either by chance or by anything, whatever you'll call it.
I'm glad you've talked about chance.
Okay.
But I like what you said, that you get into something, maybe it's not what you wanted, but then as you get into it, you're like, but then I'm really enjoying this thing. Wait a minute, I'm really enjoying this thing. So you're like, maybe this is actually what I wanted. That is maybe the reason why door A was closed, so door B, was opened for me to discover this thing. So that explanation makes sense. But if and that's why I keep saying, if 10, 20 years from now you won't regret that choice, well and good. But if you will regret it, then you need to do something about it. I know
for the number of years that I've been doing whatever I've been doing, I've been like, by the way, I'm so glad that I did not go to aeronautical engineering, because ukiangalia now, if I can also just delve in kidogo on the IT space, it has so much growth and so much is happening that you are always involved. Hakuna scenario unaweza jipata and you're like, I remember was it another episode ulikuwa unasema IT guru mahali, and I'm like, Ama it was outside this conversation, and I was like, if anyone is calling you an IT guru, okay, reason to worry hapo, because as in the level of information that is out there, I don't think anyone can master it.
But I hope whatever you're saying, that you're so glad you didn't get into aeronautical engineering.
And it's not I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope the reason you're saying that, it's not because you're in IT, because you know that cognitive dissonance bias in psychology, where and that kuna ile example, like there's a rabbit that is trying to get to some fruits kwa tree, and then the fruits are so high, so anajaribu kufikia, and then after ameshindwa, they're like, they're not even sweet, acha zikae. So unaona, it's actually what you wanted, but because you're not able to get to them, now you're hating on them. Ama example, like dem ni msupu, ni msawa, and then umejaribu kumkatia. So the minute unaenda kuongea na yeye, and then anakuongelesha vibama, anakusnob, so uko like, dem bebe hata kuangi, hata hizo nini zake sijui zinakangaje, as in unaanza kuhate cause umeshindwa kuget your stuff, ama umeshindwa kumget, unaona. But in essence, you're just trying to console yourself.
So,
which is that cognitive dissonance that I'm talking about. So I hope for you it's not cognitive dissonance.
It's not. Okay, Sijui, I don't know how to explain it to you, but so that isikae ni kama I am more or less like saying I don't even need it anyway. Because even today, I still think whatever advancements are so far happening as far as aeronautical engineering is concerned are quite interesting. Because
very
interesting. And usually unaangaliaga vile how flights are, as in ukiangalia ndege vile imesetiwa up, and I'm like,
NASA, SpaceX,
what is happening? Exactly. I still find that interesting, but I usually just say, okay, probably it's wacha, because for me unaona ni ile yenye unasema hapo nimeona wewe ni accountant na mimi ni IT, wacha nimalizie kazi kwa IT alafu accountant wewe utachukulia hapo. As in, it's more or less recognition that I have gotten to a point where I'm quite skilled. I am not skilled enough, but I'm quite skilled, as in that I am I believe I can offer more as a person with hii knowledge yenye niko nayo and all that. I don't know if it makes sense.
That is,
with the zero hate to aeronautical engineering, because
if there's zero hate towards aeronautical engineering,
there's no hate. It's actually very interesting whatever has been happening in that entire industry. And usually muka hata ukiangalia what it takes for a plane to take off, I usually ask myself,
Yeah.
okay, I'm wondering if I was the engineer, what would I have done as an assessment? That still happens. So hakuna chuki hapo.
So if hakuna chuki, then well and good. I just wanted to make sure that a few years from now you won't have any regrets.
No, I won't have any regrets.
To answer the question that you wanted to ask me earlier, for me, I also believe in nurture. Like I believe in gaining the skills, training. I believe in hard work. So yes, there's nature, there's the talent that you have, that you're born with. But personally, like I believe that with given enough time, someone who is talented will actually be overtaken by someone who works harder than them. And there's this quote, no siniingililia by this nikianza kusema ma quote, but there's this quote by
next episode.
Kuna hii quote he's called Derek Jeter. He used to play for the New York Yankees. You know the New York Yankees, MLB, Major League Baseball. So he says, there may be people who are more talented than you, but there's no reason for anyone to work harder than you do. Like, because at the end of the day, like whether you're talented is completely irrelevant. Someone, you may be talented. Let's take this as a scale. So someone who's talented is here. So you're here. You're not as talented as they are. So they have the nature on their side, but you have nurture. So you're like, okay, you'll push yourself. You'll just wake up earlier. You'll read material that will help you, upgrade your skill. You'll go out there. So with time, if this person just stays here, you will be able to surpass them and utawapita by far. But the other thing is, someone who has the talent or has the nature on their side, if they choose to like put in the work, the hours, the nurture, they will. It will be very difficult to get to them. It is possible to get to them, but it will be very difficult. So it's okay. Both of them, like they can go hand in hand. If you have the talent and you put in the hard work, you will be unstoppable. Let me tell you. And the best example that I give when it comes to that, it's Michael Jordan. Like the guy, and by the way, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. Like the guy was super talented. Like Z, as in. And I know you're a Kobe guy, a Black Mamba guy, but I know. But me, by the way, Michael Jordan,
by the way,
he had the talent.
The guy. He had the talent. Ukiangalia the motivation he had and the drive he had to just ensure that amefika peak. Exactly. Peak performance, because as in of course perfection is ever changing, but umse alikuwa na ile consistency I want to be the best in unaelewa. And it didn't matter that he was talented, he pushed himself. Like this guy was working harder than even the guys who are just like average, like in his team, like wase wako chini yake. But this guy is like because like for example, if you watch that documentary on Netflix, it's called The Last Dance. But there I encourage everyone to watch it, and it's one of the documentaries I'm hoping that we're going to like review in future episodes. So the guy is talented already, he's the best in the league already, but when the league has ended, like people are supposed to take like a summer break, like for like 2-3 months, he's not going for a break. He is in training the following day. As in, that is the kind of commitment that you're getting from the guy who already has nature on his side. And again, like we were talking about, your guy, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. So, he's also my guy, by the way. Much actually,
respect to him.
And if you look at both gentlemen, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, that's one of the similarities.
Exactly.
That for them, as in ilikuwa na, it didn't matter how talented I was. I needed to get better and better, because I know that at some point someone will catch up, someone will definitely catch up. all I need to do is just keep on grinding, keep on doing it.
Exactly.
I haven't gotten to perfection.
Yeah,
I need to be better.
Yes.
Ukiangalia, because very interesting that you've mentioned that he wouldn't leave the court.
Yeah.
Because ukiangalia, there's another documentary on Netflix. Nani?
Kobe Bryant. I think it's called The Redeem Team. Yeah.
The Redeem Team.
Yeah.
And if you go Netflix. If you go through
tunafanya promo za bure hapa na watu livi.
If you go through that documentary as well, you actually Kobe Bryant takes us through as in his journey, as in how he got to be where he was. Alikuwa na explain that immediately he got recruited. There's a term for that, poleni kwa watu basketball wenye nimebucha for that, but immediately he got recruited. Immediately got drafted. He knew he was good at shots. So he was making shots and zote zinaenda baby, and he's like, hey, kwani what's happening? It's not that I'm bad at making shots. So he sat down and did an assessment, and he was like, wait, it is because by the time inafika quarter 3, quarter 4, I'm not very used to playing for probably like 4 games each week. So by the time inafika Q4 of the 4th game that week, I am too tired that I don't have enough energy. So what does that mean I need to do? I need to practice harder. I need to build my muscles so that by the time it's Q4 of game 4, I need to still have the energy to make that shot, because it's not that I'm bad. And I think that really speaks to nurturing.
I'm actually glad you mentioned your story of Kobe Bryant, because in the same series, there's the place where they're in practice, because you know, like the team that was supposed to represent the United States in the Olympics. And then so ilikuwa Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, all this like everyone, the big names in the NBA. So they're supposed to represent the NBA, the United States in the Olympics. So as they were going for their practice sessions in, I think, Las Vegas, if I'm not wrong. So after
episode
I know. So after the session, guys went out for drinks, like akina LeBron, Dwayne Wade. So after, I think I'm not sure whether Kobe Bryant also went, but as they were coming back, because omekunywa, you know, they've partied, so as they were coming back 4 a.m. in the morning, walking into the lobby of the hotel, towards the lift or the elevator. Who are they finding there? Kobe Bryant with his gym bag. He's going to practice like early that morning. He's going to work out. And these guys are like, sisi tumetoka kukunywa. Like we from drinking. We need to rest. Do you know, these guys, they were like, okay, no, we can't. They went to their rooms. They took their practice gear. They went and joined Kobe Bryant to practice by day. Mind you, they didn't even sleep. Wameshinda tu wakijibamba. So that tells you, like, this guy already, even among that team, because he was the captain, he's already talented. He's super talented than all the rest. He's already here. And this guy that is already here is doing more than you, like in terms of hard work. He's putting in the hours, he's putting in the... So when you see that, and you're in the same team as that guy, like, what does that make you feel? You're like, no, I have to like figure this guy. I have to also up my game. So, and personally, that is what I call leadership. Like, just inspiring people to just get to your level. And for me, that is by their series. I'd advise to anyone. I'd recommend to everyone The Redeem Team, and then the Last Dance. Both of them, I think, are on Netflix.
Before we release this episode, tutaiskumia Netflix. Wakikata tunakata hiyo
sponsor hii video. Wakikata tunakata hiyo nini yote.
Yeah. But I'm also interested to just find out from you. You mentioned that for you it's mostly nurture, if not all nurture, for you to have gotten to where you are, right?
It's nurture mostly.
It's nurture mostly. Yeah. Do you think that nature plays a role? Because I remember in a different conversation we were talking about mambo ya training a fish to fly na hiyo mambo yote.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So personally, I am a huge fan of nature, like, just hard work, putting in the hours. But going back to that example that you brought up, which is the Albert Einstein, I think, quote of like we are all geniuses, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will spend its whole life thinking it's a fool, it's stupid. And again, going back to that, because if we have all the animals there, the fish, the monkey, the elephant, the leopard, the antelope, if you give them the test that I have for you, and this is what will determine whether you guys are bright, whether you guys are like, the best of the best, is to climb this tree. Of course, the monkey will just do it in like a split second. The monkey will excel. Yeah, they will excel. So the fish will be there thinking, God, me, I'm stupid. And then next time you come, you give the same example. Last time you guys climbed a baobab tree. Now it's an oak tree, it's a eucalyptus, whatever. Just climb it. Of course, the monkey will still climb it in like a second. But the fish, through these tests, it will spend that whole time thinking, I'm good for nothing. There's nothing I can do. Yes, but change the environment. Take that exam to the ocean. Of course, the monkey will drown. But what will happen to the fish? The fish will excel. So that's what I was saying. Like, it's very important for you to find out your sweet spot. Like, okay, your spot. Like, to find exactly where
find the spot.
The spot. Like, what really works for you. Because if you're a fish trying to climb a tree, it doesn't matter how many years you spend there. You will spend all that time thinking, I can't do it. And the monkey will have an easy time climbing trees after tree after tree, jumping, hopping from this one to the other. And there's nothing special with that monkey. But let's go to the ocean. Let's see what happens there. So for me, my advice would be, like, we all have different areas that we excel in. And again, like, just to bring up another quote by the great Sean Carter, Jay-Z, the greatest rapper of all time, that every human being, okay, personally, he's among the greatest. So the great Jay-Z says that everyone has genius level talent in them. Personally, I believe that like 100%. Like, we all have those fields that we can excel in, if we are exposed to them. So if you are that fish, just find the water, and it may take you a while to just discover what exactly it is that you excel in, but I wouldn't advise you to settle on the first thing that you maybe whatever it is that you went to study in school because your parents told you to study that, or because there was peer pressure, you decided, let me go and do accounts, let me go and do IT. No, like, there's still time. You can still do other courses. People take complete U-turns and just change careers, change the direction of their lives. So for me, just if you're a fish, find your water. If you're that monkey, find the tree. If you're a cheetah, find your land, land where you can just... Cheetah is the fastest animal on land. So just find that nini for you. And with that, now that is the nature. Find your nature, like what it is that you're inherently good at. Once you find that, the only thing you need to do is just now put in the hours. Put in the hours. And we keep saying the 10,000 hour rule by, I think it was introduced by Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Outliers. So just find that thing and then now put in the hours. You will be unstoppable, I am telling you for sure. That one I'm telling you for sure.
I'm interested to also just find out, are we also saying that even the fish can learn how to climb the tree?
Okay.
Because if we're talking about 10,000 hours, and you've mentioned that as human beings, we have genius level. Yes? Every single one of us. That would automatically mean...
essentially, if... And by the way, personally, I believe that human beings are the ultimate, adaptability machines. As in, we can learn anything as long as we put our minds into it. We can. Like you, for example, IT wasn't like your number one choice. but you have learned, you have gained the skills with time and everything. So, no. So that analogy of the fish is like a bit weird in this scenario.
Imagine
but
I don't think it looks weird because
but the fish can actually, if given enough time, if it works hard, puts in the hours, it can learn how to climb that tree. But will it still be as good as for example, the monkey that is also putting in the hours?
Theoretically, I think if our imaginative fish has a human mind, I would go to say that.
I agree, by the way. I agree. And that's why I keep saying that we can learn anything that we want to. Just imagine how you were born. Like, ukizaliwa, like, you just, some piece of flesh that couldn't even hold its own head up. As in, someone had to hold, like, your head up, like this. Yeah. By the way, as in, you couldn't do anything for yourself. Unlike animals where, a gazelle is born and, 5 minutes later, they're jumping around. But for us, we take time. As we take time, we learn, we adapt, we grow, we gain the skills. So personally, I believe, yes, you can gain the skills. You can gain the skills. But my advice would be, if it would be a whole lot better if you can just discover what your sweet spot is exactly. And then with that, it would be, natural for you to just excel in that field. For me personally, that is what I'd say. But I still believe that you can excel in whatever field you're in. If you put in the hours, yes, you can excel. You're living proof. You've excelled in IT.
But I also agree with you on your statement. Okay, now for me, as far as now beliefs are concerned, you see, as I assess the human life and all that, again, referring to a conversation we had separately, we have a list of things that we just need to go through. Because now, if we're talking about your mamba fish, we were saying that if you're a fish, as human beings, hatuna hiyo knowledge yenye inatuambia directly that, hey, you need water. So essentially, because the society has told you that it's a tree you need to climb, you can actually just focus on that tree and without knowing that, hey, actually, as a fish, I need to go into the water. So you come at me as I'm figuring out how to present this.
And I feel that is an indictment on our education system, which is
exactly
true, and I agree,
they let us down in some areas because essentially they're supposed to help us assess ourselves as individuals and figure out what are our strengths and what are we good at, so that when it comes to deciding, do I need to get to a tree, do I need to find plain land, do I need to get water, they're supposed to help us.
Exactly.
And they might have let us down in that area.
They did.
So again, we are at a disadvantage because there's a long list that we need to check out to figure out what we are good at. But now my belief is that you don't really necessarily need to go through that entire list. You can just find the closest fit that resonates with you. That as Haron, I have decided, I think it's all again in the power of the mind, that I have decided that, hey, from today onwards, I can see that the monkey climbs the tree in 2.1 seconds. What do I need to do? I've assessed myself and I've seen that I have fins and I have a tail. What do I need to do to empower my fins to enable me to climb that tree? It's more or less deciding that I will put in the effort to empower myself. And when I talk about empowering, I mean just amassing the knowledge, amassing the skill, amassing all the technical capabilities that are required for you to be able to now excel in that specific area. That's why I was saying theoretically, even the fish kanaweza chapa press ups na hizo fins
atachapa press ups na atapanda hiyo mti.
So essentially it's more or less now just being keen to figure out what are the needs that I need to address to be able to now excel in whatever decision I've made. And I think now, so that now speaks about what I decided to do. And it for me now, when you look at my passions and all that, it didn't matter necessarily, because now it might have not even been aeronautical engineering and IT. Probably hata ingekuwa accounting and law. Ama ingekuwa hata unaget ingekuwa hata logistics and probably nursing, unaget. But immediately you decide that, hey, this is the direction I go. If you put in the hours, put in, just as you've mentioned, ukiweka all that, you will be able to, as in just excel in it and probably even be as large as vile watu wanasema.
And I am personally, I'm a believer of that. Like, put in the hours, you will excel. And I'm sure even guys out there, even in your workplaces, there are people that you know that may not even be as intelligent as you are. Then they may not even be as talented as you are, but the amount of hours that they put in, it just separates them from you. Like, they're always just mbele yako.
Kuna hako ka separation just because they put in, ama they are adding that. There's that ka extra effort in you to. Where ukiamua kulala, kuna mtu anasema, I think I'll push in 45 minutes.
Just 45 minutes too. And then if you compound that 45 minutes every day, you will never see that person. As in, that person will forever be ahead of you. But e conversation by the in future, like na feel in future tunafaa tutairudia. Even as we like discuss your, like, you know, the Last Dance, your series ya Michael Jordan and the Bulls, Chicago Bulls, maybe even the Redeem Team ya Kobe Bryant, maybe even Outlast, the book by Malcolm Gladwell, we can, you know, revisit the topic kidogo.
Interstellar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but I think that's where we wrap it up for today. We would love to hear what you guys think of the topic that we've covered. Please just share your thoughts. Let us know what is working for you. Is it nature? Is it nurture? Is it talent? Is it hard work? Give us your stories. And are you are you feeling like a fish trying to climb a tree?
Or are you actually that fish that decided nitaenda kwa maji nyingi?
Exactly. So we'd love to hear that from you guys.
Again, remember to just comment, like, share and subscribe. We're trying to grow our community as much as possible, and that interaction really helps us. Inatusaidia kumotivate.
For sure.
Hapa kuna mtu sitaki kutaja majina. Akia samanga kuna kakome. But guys, I think that is it from us. Until next time. Deuces.